Hello everyone and welcome to our channel Project Management and Control. In this video tutorial, I try to explain how we can convert our project expenses into resource assignment in Primavera P6. So some of the planning engineer they put BOQ costs in their program using expense. Expense is a good technique, but we cannot get periodic distribution from directly from the resource assignment as we are getting from the resource. So for the making the cash flow curve or some reports, we need to make use of report or some other or it's not as fast as we can get directly from the resource assignment. So if the budgeted cost is assigned as expense, we cannot get periodic distribution of the cost directly from the resource assignment. Therefore, we need to convert our expenses into resource assignment so that we can use the data for our Power BI reports or we can use in our pivot tables. So let's see what are the key steps we need to make it while we converting our project expenses into resources. Number one is that we need to create a separate resource for the cost and call it any name or ID as you feel appropriate. Then the most important item are that we need to assign project price per unit as a $1 per hour, and we have to remove the checkbox from the calculate cost from the units. So you can see on the my screen now we have two options. Option is the unit per time and prices. Here you have price per unit. Make sure that to make this price per unit as $1 per hour. And next is in the if you go the same in the profile, you will file you'll find that in profile there's two checkbox. One is compute actuals and other is calculate cost from the units. So when we are assigning cost as a resource, we need to remove this checkbox. We means calculate cost from the units should be unchecked. So these two options are very important when we are converting your project expenses from expense to cost. Otherwise, your data will not be matched. So now let's see how we can do this in Primavera P6 using Excel. I'm going to open one of my old projects for demonstration here. You can see on my screen that I open one of my old project and the project expense cost is 244,800,000 and the project is both cost and resource loaded. And you can see that we don't have budgeted labor, budgeted material, labor and labor, budgeted material, labor and non-labor costs all are zero. So if you go any activities here which are assigned with the cost, for example, if I go in construction activities and I open any of the construction activities, I click on the first activity execution up to the up to the cutoff level. If you see here, the resources are assigned and cost is assigned in expense using the BOQ cost. The expense item name is BOQ cost and cost is assigned here. Similarly, we can check some other activity here. You can see that BOQ cost assigned here and resources are assigned here as waterproofing and protection for pile cap. There's a waterproofing technician are assigned. So now we need to change when we want to change this expense from change the VOQ cost from expense to the resources. So just check it here that our project value is 244,800,000 and our budgeted labor units are 163,367.52. So if you follow with me in this video, please write down this value on somewhere so we can check it in after some time when we make our changes. So first step in making the changes is that when we are making such changes, it is very major changes and there is no undo. In the Primavera, there is no undo. So for this big changes, there now Primavera offer undo command, but there's such a big changes, there is you cannot revert everything back. So it is always a best practice. So when you are making the such changes, make a copy of this program. So you can make copy in several ways. Either you can go to in the folder option and make a copy paste from there, or one of the faster way which I am recommending you is go to maintain baseline and the maintain baseline here at baseline, and you will find here option save a copy of the current project as a new baseline. So the copy of the program will be saved here inside the program as a baseline. So if something going wrong or result are not coming as we are expecting, or you're feeling something wrong, so you have your original file with you, so you can just go and restore this file. Your original program will be back. So this is the way you can make a copy. Other way is normal. Just you go in the folder option and copy paste from there. So once I made this copy, I will go and make a resource. in the resources, and in the resources you will find that we have this all project resources. If you go here and this drop down filter by current project resources, so it will show you the project resources here. Okay, my last resource is CT23. So I am going here and add new resources. I just go at the last item, click plus. It will give you, in order to add resource, the filter will be changed to display all resources. You just select OK, and then you will find that new resource wizard will be open. Here you have resource ID. I am giving my resource ID as CT Central Tower as 24. 24 is the number, and I give the number as BOQ cost. Then go next. Here you have to select the resource type. So my resource, Primavera offers us three type of resources: labor, non-labor, and material. So I select material and go next. Here the and the most important unit you have to take care. So when you are making new resource for cost, make price per unit as $1 per $1 per hour per unit. Okay, go next. Okay, and the phone number and email address is not required. To just remove, just skip it and just finish. So your new resources have been created, and you can see it is as coming under the C23. So just make it left indent, so it will coming on the main hierarchy of the resource breakdown. Now here, if you go select the resource we just created and just go in general, general will give you the details of resource ID, name, etc. Like implied ID, title, this information are not required. But yes, this information are there in the database of the Primavera, but it is not affecting any of our work. So you can just skip it. Codes are already we are not using. Details, you can see that we already defined our resource as material. Now here's the tricky part. So if you go in the details window in the resource, there's detail window. So you will find here two options: auto compute actuals and calculate cost from units. So you have to remove this calculate cost from units. Otherwise, what will happen? You will assign the cost in BOQ cost, and it will add the resource also, resource cost also. So for example, what is the resource duration is there, and because you assign here the cost as a price as 1 unit, $1 per unit. So what it will do, whatever your duration is there, for example, your duration is 100 days, so 100 multiplied by 1. So 100 will be added, or duration, number of duration. The cost will be calculated as number duration multiplied by the cost per unit. So cost per unit we already assigned as 1. So if you multiply 1 by this cost per unit, it will go and add in the BOQ cost. So your cost will not be met exactly. So that's why we just remove this calculate cost from units. So this is the main important units and price. Unit and price $1 per unit already defined when we are making the resource. This is all enough. So once you make your resources, go in activity IDs and go to any first construction activity. I have here on my first construction activity, or select any construction activity. You just select and assign here as a new resource. So for example, here you can see that we have expense and we have resource. Resource, there is two resources only, helper and operator. Here I add my new resource, which is I just created, CT24, which is our BOQ cost, and close this. Now we have assigned one resource. So why I'm doing this, I will tell you in a while. So now go in file and make export. When export option came, select spreadsheet from here and go next. Then from here, I need all activities information. How many activities are there in my program? So I select activities. Activity relationship, I'm not interested here. So I just skip it. Expenses, I need it because I want to convert this expenses into resource assignment. So I need this three option. I select this three option and then go next. So here you need to select the project. If you have so many projects open, you have to select from where you want to export the data. Then go next. Here you can create a new template from here. I just already have one P6 training, P6T. Just modify this one. And now you have activities. In activity, I need activity ID, activity status. This you cannot remove it. It's fixed. WS code you cannot fix. Activity name, either you can make it there up and remove and bring. So I bring it. Start, finish. Okay, I need. So simply total float is also you can optional. You can keep it or remove it, up to you. So I just take it as a for information. May I need this information? Activity name, the start, finish, and total float. Similarly, I go on the top and select now expense. In the expense, I need activity ID is fixed, expense item is fixed, activity status fixed. I need budgeted cost because from this budgeted cost, I want to convert into resource assignments. So the most important item I need it here is a budgeted cost. If you take it back, it will go back here from here, and you can see here you can have actual cost, at completion cost, a budgeted cost, running cost. So for here, because this is our baseline program, so I just focus on my budgeted cost. So I need this here. Now I go to third my selection, which is resource assignments. In the resource assignment, we have activity ID, activity status, resource ID. Here we have resource type, which as we selected material resource now, budgeted unit and budgeted cost. So for here, this in the resource assignment, make sure that you have at least resource unit, budgeted unit and budgeted cost. So you have to edit here. This is optional. You can remove it and bring it like this. You can see here. So this is important. You need budgeted unit and budgeted cost. So once you do this one, then select OK. One thing more I forget. Once you are doing these changes, make sure that filter is select for all activities. Sometimes some planner they put some filter and we remove we forget to remove this filter. In this case, if you create the report, this filter will be applied on our reports, and that's why sometimes our reports are not we are what we are expecting, and we are thinking that our report is wrong or we are getting some mistake. In fact, we are forget to remove this filter. So make sure that if there is some filter, you apply it, or if no filter remain required, make sure that all activities checkbox is selected. So once you do this one, click OK and then go next. It will ask you the location where you want to save the file. I just select the location, click this three double dot, and I have this file. This file I already have this. I will just remove this file here, and I click open. Okay, I go again, double click on these three dots. It will take me to the folder 106. I then okay, and then go next and press finish. It will take from some time, few seconds. So you said my export was successful, and you can see my time is here now 11:42. So 11:42, I'm mentioning here because what is happening with our with us with most of the planner, several we have at the sometime we have several files with of matching names or similar names. So in this time we get confused which is our file we are working on. So sometime by mistakenly we select the wrong file. So to identify between different several files of having the same name, so I'm using to write down the time, what time I make it, so that I will select the exact real actual file I'm working on. So once I created my file, I go my window explorer. Okay, and I select my folder here. I can see that my file is interest less, and I created 1142. So it's 11:43 now. So I just created this file. So I just double click to open this file, this Excel file. Once this file is open, you can see that I have four sheets here. One is for activities information, which I selected. One is for the expense, which is BOQ cost. Okay, and one our other is for the resource assignments. So this is our resource assignments. So now what I have to do and the fourth is a user data. Don't do any changes here because this system sheet. Any changes will affect your program. So you this don't make any changes here. Now we need activity information. We have project expense and we have task. So we have go in task and select our row number 2 and put and filter here. And once we put the filter here, I just make it a little big. Okay, keep it. This is resource type. Okay, and then we have this budgeted cost, budgeted quantity, and budgeted cost and budgeted units. Okay, so here if I go resource type, I just drop down this. Now we have two type resources. Already we assign labor resources, and the other we make for the material. So material is a new resource. So I just uncheck this labor. It will show me only the material resource. If you remember that I just put one one I put a resource of this material only in the one activity. So only one activity will be shown here. The rest will copy from the activities sheet. So if you remember that this is one activity, I just put resource here. If you go on my Primavera, and you can see here this activation up to cutoff level, I put BQ cost as a resource here. So if I back to my Excel, you will see that this is activity is here. Now I need the other activities. So I just go in my activities window. This is task, and I select my activities from top to down. I, I go on my first activity, press Shift, Control, and down arrow. It will select all the data. Press Control C to copy and bring in the resource window. Here you can see that we have activity ID. Okay, so just leave the first activity and just leave 3 4 rows for to identify between the old and new data. Click here and press Control V to copy. Okay, then make I have this activity status. Okay, and resource ID. So I just copy this to Control C and assign this resource here. So what it will do, I'm assigning my resource to the activities. You can do directly in the Primavera, and you can do this resource assignment in Excel also. So whatever convenient for you, you can do it. So I prefer to do in Excel because it is more faster, and you can check several ways. It's very easy to check in Excel as compared to Primavera. So once you copy this one, you can find a dot here at the bottom. Just double click this one. It will copy on the all. So once you do this one, just make sure, that your data is copied to the end. So just press Control down arrow. It will take you to the end. I'm telling you this to check this one to make sure that you have make sure this one, because what is happening sometimes there's blank rows. If there's blank rows and you put some formula copy, the formula will not formula copying the formula will stop at the blank row. So you have to make sure that there's no blank row, or if there's blank row, then you have to make sure that the data is copied to all the activities. Now we have role ID and we have cost account ID. So we don't have these two items, so just leave it. Now we have material, this resource. Just copy this down here and assign this resource type to material. Already is done. Now we need to budgeted unit. This budgeted unit should be is equal to the budgeted cost. So we just take VLOOKUP formula or any lookup formula. People, they are most of the planning there. I find that they're very professional and very fast in VLOOKUP formula. But sometimes I feel that VLOOKUP formula has some problems, some issues. I'm not going to go this detail because will make the video lengthy. So for myself, I feel that instead of VLOOKUP, index match and index is a more powerful formula, and it gives you the exact values. Sometimes we have some problem with the VLOOKUP. So I personally prefer index and match and index formula. So first I go and match my this activity ID, and then I'm going to match this value in the project cost. So I just go and select the first column, which is activity ID, and press F4 to lock this one, and then comma and put 0 for exact match. It will give you date. So from here, I just select it, put a journal. So you can see that it shows that this KD 070 is occurring or appearing on the row number 47. So let's see. I just copy this KD 070 and copy this one coming in the project cost, and press Control F, and I put this value KT070, and you see that this value is appearing on the row number 4079. So this 79 is showing give me the row number where this data is appearing first time. So sometimes you have to have what happen is sometimes you have duplicate data. So this value will this lookup value will give you the value where the data first time occurs. So once you find this row number, now I'm going to make use of index command. I just index, and then I have to select my range. Range is from column activity ID to the BQ cost. So this activity ID cost name is the activity status, and this is our budgeted cost. So once you select this one, press of F4 to lock this one, comma, then it is asking you for the row number. Row number already we taken from the this match command. Then you put comma here, and it asks you for the column number. Column number, you can see that we have A, B, C, D. We are looking for values in the column D, which is column number 4. So press 4, uh, close the parenthesis, and control enter. Control enter, put your cursor in the same cell. Now you copy this formula to other cell, and you this NA error is coming. This is because the lookup value is converted, also shifted from A to B column. So we check it back and it will give you the data. Now we have copied this one. We make this formula okay. Now just copy these three values, column F, G and H. Press Ctrl C, press Ctrl left arrow, then press Ctrl down arrow. It will take you at the end of the data. Then come into column F, press Shift Ctrl up arrow. It will take you the end of the data. Then press Ctrl V to copy. Now our data is copied. Now we need to check few values that our data is copied properly. So I select first value. This is DG. Just copy this, Control C to copy this activity ID. I go in project cost and press Control F and V, and I find that this value is 1,066,417. So 1,066,417. This is okay. I will select one more or one or two values more. For example, I coming here. This 13 131,000 131,450.39. So I select this activity. This is my 13 floor MEP works. So I just select this, Control C. I go again in the activity in the cost. Press Control F and Control V and show you the values 131,450.39. So 131,450.39. So this value is okay. So it means that our values are correctly okay. So similarly, you can just randomly check two or three values to make sure that the data is copied properly. Once you do this, don't forget to remove the formula from here. Because if you don't remove the formula, Primavera will not able to take these values and it will give you error. So sometime in our planning engineers, and they are in hurry or they just miss it by somehow. So just make sure that after copying this data using the lookup formula, don't forget to remove this formula value. So just click from here and do go press shift control down arrow. It will select all the values. Control C to copy and then control press paste is values. Now there's no values. Now once you do this one, we can remove this data from here and press bring and remove all the empty rows. So once you do this one, just delete these rows. Now you can remove this filter from here. Now, after this, once you assign the BUK cost into resources, we need to remove the cost from our expenses. So how we can do this one? You can do in several ways. Number one is that you can go in global change and use the global change and remove these values. Or you can do one thing here. You can because already we have this value and this file, and we are going to import this file back into Primavera. So you can do in two ways. Either remove the cost from the program P6 using global change, or you can delete from Excel file. Just you can notice this for row number column number E, which write delete this row. So it is asking you want to delete this row, and not means what will happen. They will remove the data what is for the project cost from this activity. If you want to remove this data, just press D. You can type either capital or small, anything, just press D. So what will do, the Primavera, when you import this file back into Primavera, this expense will automatically remove by the Primavera. So just click this one and double click on this dot. It will bring the data to the end. So what will Primavera do when you import this file? This all expenses will be removed automatically. You don't need to remove any global change command, any and put any conditions there. So this also be done. A task we did not do anything. We just need this task to take the all activities from here to resource. I mean, because we did not assign the resource to all the activities. This because. So now we have. If you notice that we have changes, we make changes in two sheets. We are going to remove BOQ cost. So I put D here and I add the budgeted unit and cost in the my resource assignment. So once you do this one, save this file and note the time. The time is now 11:54. So once you do this one, and now we are ready to import this file back into Primavera. So before importing this file back, just check down the values that we have. The budgeted expense cost 244,800,000 and our budgeted labor unit 163,371.52 and we have material, budgeted material, labor, and non-labor costs all are zero. Now, what will happen when we import this file back? This budgeted expense cost becomes zero. This there should not be any change in the budgeted labor unit, and budgeted labor cost should come to 44,800,000 because we assign our cost as a material resource. So we do not have any labor cost and non-labor cost. So for your for to check this thing, you can write these values on anywhere on the paper, so that when we import this file, we can verify. So now we are going to import. We are going to start import. It will ask you the option. So we want to import the spreadsheet. Go next. Then you have to going to select the values. Locate the file folder where you save your file. This file is 11:54. Now 11:55. So almost see just 1 minute it takes to locate this file. Once you do this one, select next. Then it asks you import type. You want to import activities? No, I do not make any changes here, so I don't want to import this one. Expenses? Yes, I want to delete the expenses, so I select this one. Resource? I mean, yes, I add the BOQ cost and unit in the for the material resource for the BOQ cost, so I need this one, and then select next. Then import to file folder. We want to import this one. Just select your project and go next, and then start. It will take little time, so be patient, please, and have a look. Now you can see that our import results coming successful. So now we are going to on the top to see the values. You can see that our budget expense cost becomes zero. Our budgeted labor unit 163,371.52. So it's a slight increase of point 0.09 here. Budgeted labor, budgeted material cost coming to 44 million, 244 million, 180. 44,800,000 should be 800,000. So I think something have to be check it. Not getting okay. Maybe something. Let's have a look this one. Maybe this. I'm not doubtful here, but should not be happen because I tried before. This was working exactly the same. So in this way, in this case, you can convert budget expense from labor from you can convert your BQ cost from expense to budgeted material cost, and then we have this labor units are there, and total budget cost is the same. So in just have a look for these values. Maybe sometime some values are not matching exactly. So just have a look in case if you find something you can modify this value, but it's mainly coming okay to 44 million 140,000, and there's no change in the labor unit. So I hope this video give you some insight information and information for our planning engineer. So when we are converting their budgeting expense cost from expense to resource, what step they have to take and what precautions they have to take in when they are importing the cost, when they are converting the expense into resource, I mean. So I hope this video is useful for you and you find some good tips for your coming future work. So if you like it, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and share this video with your fellow planning engineers for their understanding and learning. And I appreciate your comments and your suggestions. So till next video, thank you very much again for your time. See you in the next video. Take care and bye bye.